Does Milwaukee have a fatal flaw that you're looking at, Big Perk?
No, they don't.
Point blank, period.
No, they don't.
What is the key to slowing Giannis down?
I mean, slowing him down? What you mean by that?
It's no secret that Giannis and the Bucks have been on a tear lately, winning 12 of their last 16 games since All-Star break. And Giannis, he has proven since then that he is in fact the best player in the world.
Now, third quarter, end of the third.
There is nothing anybody can do with Giannis that close to the basket.
5 seconds left in the quarter. Giannis pushes it ahead.
Or that.
Wow. Go gadget arms.
First, we'll have to talk about the game he played against the Sixers. This game was highly anticipated by many, especially the teams playing. I'm pretty sure the Bucks and the Sixers wanted to make a statement that day, and the Bucks, well, they came away with the win. And then Giannis with 40 points. It was just marvelous to watch. He had stretches in his game where I was just speechless. That last play in the third quarter when he went full transition dunk, sensational. And to think that he topped that play with the game-saving block.
And Harden steps back. He was going for the lead. Embiid with a putback, not there.
Oh, what a block by Giannis.
The referees would initially call it a goaltend, but Giannis was insistent that it was a block and asked them to review it. And thankfully, the review was done, and it was determined that clearly, you can see it here, it was a block, clean block. Unfortunately, Giannis and the Bucks weren't robbed of a win that they desperately needed. Despite the incredible defense Giannis has played in this game, people were still complaining that he wasn't guarding Embiid all the way through the game.
But the reason specifically that Giannis doesn't guard the other team's best player is so he can do that. So he can roam. So he can make the game-saving block.
This is where the value of Brook Lopez, a lot of people, they miss it. A lot of people say Brook Lopez isn't that good anymore. Why do the Bucks still sign him? Why do they still pay him? Well, he spaces the floor first off, and then on the defensive end, he helps Giannis while guarding the best player, and Giannis, with his help defense, is able to do what he does best on that end. And that clutch block in the fourth quarter. I mean, just look at who's guarding Harden right here. Brook Lopez, making sure that he doesn't get a good shot up. Having guys like Lopez and Jrue Holiday guarding the players out on the perimeter allows Giannis to do plays like that. And I think a lot of people, they seem to not understand, the play that he did against Ayton in the finals. That was the same thing. He's able to do time after time defensive plays that wins his team games, and I think that's why he should win Defensive Player of the Year this season.
Defensive Player of the Year.
I think there's two choices.
Yeah.
I think Gobert is one choice. The numbers obviously are very strong in his favor. I think if you want to go in a different direction, I think Giannis is the other one that
I won't deny that Gobert impacts his team defensively in a way that no other player does. But if we give him yet another Defensive Player of the Year during a down season for the Jazz, where they're in the 6th seed right now, we've seen the Lakers headhunt Gobert late in the fourth quarter to win that game against the Jazz. And then we've seen recently Paul George headhunting Gobert to get the game-winning shot. I mean, this is insane. Are we going to really give him the award over a player in Giannis that has done time after time defensive plays to win his team games? And you know what? Let's talk about Jrue Holiday now.
He's the best player in the NBA that nobody ever talks about. Jrue Holiday is playing the best basketball offensively since he's put on the Milwaukee Bucks uniform. Dog, he did a dribble move, went left, and shot a runner and made it.
Okay, let me go over his stats since the All-Star break, man. They're 11-4. Jrue Holiday is a big part of that, scoring over 20 points a game with 7.5 assists and 4 rebounds, of course. He gives you those boards, and then shooting 50% from the field and 43% from deep. This is too much. This is insane levels of offense that we're seeing out of Jrue Holiday. He's playing his best offensive game, like Perk said, since he's been with the Milwaukee Bucks. I mean, this is just sensational. If Giannis has a player in Jrue Holiday that plays this way in the playoffs, and then Chris Middleton comes in, adds his 20-plus points a game, oh boy, forget him making it out of the East. He's winning it all. We gotta talk about the game Giannis just had against the Nets.
Let's open down with a joke.
King of dad jokes is back, and so am I, baby.
What do you call a cow on the floor? Anybody know?
If you guess the punchline, you have to subscribe. You just have to.
Ground beef.
Even if you didn't, just subscribe because there's gonna be more dad jokes like this.
That's it.
A like would also help.
Holiday will drive and look for Giannis and out to Connaughton.
Oh my, this game was precious. It was an all-time performance from Giannis. 44 points. This guy, he never stops. He keeps going. And it's something that you'll see me repeat time after time in this video because it's just so marvelous to watch. He keeps on delivering in these big moments up against KD, and Kyrie is healthy. Joe Harris may be injured, but Seth Curry is there. Patty Mills is there. They said the Bucks were lucky to beat the Nets during that playoff series. They were lucky to even sniff the conference finals.
Antetokounmpo, Drummond's on him. Step back three for the tie. Got it! Got it!
Why does he just run and dunk is what I heard every single time. And right there he does a step back. Hezzy tween, 3-pointer in your face, Andre Drummond. Oh, he's a bad man. This guy is the best player in the world, and there is absolutely nothing you could tell me that will convince me of otherwise. What he just did against KD, and then what he did against Embiid prior to this. I mean, this, if anything, the Bucks are going to come out of the East.
I feel like we're headed for a finals rematch. The Suns have been the best team in the league all year. The Bucks, to me, are the best team in the East right now.
A lot of people like to overthink the East and Western conferences, saying, well, you know, there's 4 teams in the East that can really win and come out of the East. And that, you know, the Brooklyn Nets, with all of their guys healthy, can really make a run in the playoffs and go and win it all. Look, at this point, it's pretty clear. The Bucks have been the team to beat in the East. They've been consistently winning games when their guys are healthy, and they always show up during the big time matchups, and it's like they get overlooked so much, right? A guy in my poll, when I asked whether or not the Suns were being overlooked, he replied to me saying, well, the Bucks are even more overlooked, and they're the defending champs. And although I don't want to play the game of, you know, who's the most overlooked team, I do agree with his sentiment that the Bucks are not being talked about enough, and this actually plays into the Bucks' advantage.
They've been sleeping on the Bucks because they haven't really been at full strength all year.
They're back where they're comfortable. They're chasing. Yes. They're not the #1 seed. They're kind of flying just as much under the radar as a champion can, and now they're hitting their stride.
From top to bottom, their whole team, they got a great team that play well off each other with continuity. It's much more than Giannis, but you know his points, you know, they're going to happen. So you just got to make them as tough as possible.
I think the NBA world knows not to overlook him. It's just the fans, especially the casual ones, and the media. They were talking about them and paying less attention to them than they really needed to. And I think, you know, I will say the media, they've done a better job lately. Like, I was able to find so many clips of these guys talking, you know, a lot of praise about the Bucks and Giannis. And, you know, when I was making these videos earlier in the season, I couldn't do that. I couldn't find many of these clips. So it's a great sight. It's a great thing to see. The Bucks are healthier now. They're fully healthy. And it's just a lot of what we're seeing is a Bucks team that is now ready to turn it up a notch for the playoffs. And this Bucks team is in good hands and in good shoulders, as Giannis Antetokounmpo is currently just taking it in strides, just putting the league on notice once again.
Oh, I came ready.
You can find in the playlist section of my channel a playlist called Giannis Appreciation Playlist. And what it is, it's essentially me compiling the videos I've made over the year of just Giannis being Giannis and being my favorite player that he is. He's just so good. And we've seen it with how he's played against the Sixers recently. And I know a lot of you subscribe to my channel because of those videos. Giannis, man, he brings a lot of us together because we all know and love him as this guy that's so grateful and humble to be in the league. He understands the nature, the gravity of what he's doing, but he also knows to remain grounded and still be an MVP.
Entering yesterday's game, Jokic and Embiid shared the shortest odds. Now Jokic is -140, the favorite to win. Giannis, by the way, a distant +1,000 to win.
But I guess people are overlooking him again in the betting odds. It's just, what is going on right now, right? This screenshot that we see from ESPN is taken after they play the Sixers. And now that they play the Nets, I'm pretty sure the stock for Giannis is going to go way higher. By the way, Giannis, he's shooting better from the mid-range than guys like Zach LaVine, LeBron James, Klay Thompson, Kyrie Irving. Yeah, this is getting insane. The last 2 games he's had has made it clear that he has the stats back up his case, and just look how similar they are to Embiid's.
62 games, the same amount of points. It's going to be really hard splitting hairs for those guys as it relates to choosing an MVP.
Now, I did say in the prior video that I think Jokic is the MVP as of now. Well, now things have changed, okay? Giannis has made statements after statement games. He's played them at such an elite level. I got my stock on Giannis back again. I'm back on the Giannis train, baby. He's the MVP right now. I don't know what to tell you, man. Unless Jokic puts up a 30-10-10 stat every game for the rest of the season, I'm not giving it to anybody else but Giannis. Giannis has been sensational, and his numbers just keep on piling up, man. They keep on getting better.
This is the 6th time this season that he went for 40, 10, and 5. Embiid's done that 5 times. Giannis now has done it 6 times.
He's the best second-half scorer in the NBA, 16 points. He's the best fourth-quarter clutch player in the NBA. He's 54% from the floor in clutch time.
Now let's be honest here. This season, we've seen a lot of narratives being floated around about, certain players like Giannis and Jokic. And I've said time and time again, they're being overlooked, they're being disrespected, whatnot. Right now, we're in the crunch time of the season. Right now, it's not that Giannis is being overlooked. It's that, people are tired and they're bored. And they just want to vote for somebody else like they did with LeBron years ago.
And let's not do to Giannis what we did to LeBron. Try to find cool and stats and reasons not to give him the MVP.
I think we're starting to get bored with Giannis like we did LeBron James, and we're taking him for granted.
Giannis, like LeBron, is the most valuable player in the league. Nobody else makes that block.
I know a lot of people that think Jokic is MVP right now. They're going to see this and think this is so controversial. It's just flat out wrong. So let me explain here, okay? As a person that used to think Jokic was the MVP until now, I can see this take from Colin and think, well, he has a point. LeBron James has been, for a long time, taken for granted when it comes to his greatness, right? He plays winning basketball. He took over the East for 8 years. I mean, this guy was a machine. He's a bigger example of what's currently happening with Giannis right now. Giannis has all the accolades, and we just want to see a new face. And part of what makes Giannis a winner is his mentality.
It's not the moment throughout the game that I say, oh, I got to take over the game right now. I just let my instinct play, and I just trust my instinct.
The way he's playing, he seems like he has to prove everything to the world. He's playing like he's trying to win his first championship.
He's the tank engine that keeps going. Look, he's no Thomas, but Giannis is special, man. He's just sensational. And the Bucks organization are very lucky to have a player like Giannis. He could have left and gone to Miami or LA trying to win a chip that way. But, as he said, he did it the right way. And that's what's really fascinating with Giannis and his story. He has the drive, he has the mentality, and he keeps on going in terms of his winning. And the East, he has to look out for Milwaukee. They're the team to beat. It's clear as day. Barring injuries, this team is going to be a problem for anyone that faces them. I'm sure the Suns want to see a rematch. They want to avenge their loss, and it's going to be one of the best final series ever if these two teams do end up facing each other in June. Now, I did mention Phoenix, and I think you guys will be interested in seeing why. I think they're overlooked as well. Devin Booker, he has a case for MVP, although not as strong as the others. But I do think he should be considered. He should be top 5, even top 3 if he does end up playing better than what we've seen out of him this season.